Hello there, and thank you for coming to watch me draw. This is going to be part one of two videos. Right now, I'm just going to focus on the line art and inking these drawings. Did you hear silver in the background there? If not, well, ignore this, but that was quite an epic grumble. Okay, back to the topic at hand. I am inking these two drawings, and I did go on to paint them fully, but that will be in another video. I asked on Instagram if people would rather I made one big long video or split it into two shorter ones, and the vote came out as exactly 50-50, so that didn't help me at all. And after trying to edit the video all as one thing, I realised it was going to be maybe 40 minutes long, and I don't know if any of you would be interested in watching a 40-minute long art video. I mean, if you would, let me know. Maybe I'll do that next time. But for the time being, I'm going to split it up into two parts. So let's focus on the line art. What am I doing? I'm using Pigment Fineliners because those are my favourite kind of pen. They're just easy to use. I do like dip pens and using a sort of traditional pen and ink every so often, but sometimes I just, I want to keep things easy, make it more simple for myself and just use a fine liner. And when it comes to fine liners, my sort of philosophy on that is the thinner the better. I like the nib to be as much like a pin as possible so that I can get really thin lines and draw really small details. Right now I'm using a 0.05, yes, 0.05 size fine liner, which is the smallest size that most ranges go to, although recently I've found a couple of 0.03 ones, and those are great. Those are really good. But right now I'm using a 0.5, and over the course of this video you'll be able to see that I use the 0.3 for smaller details, and I use a regular 0.1 fine liner for some of the bigger areas, like anything that is supposed to be solid black or whatever, because I don't draw it in solid. I still use hundreds of tiny lines. I just use slightly thicker lines to create the impression of it being solid black. Does that make sense? You'll see what I mean. We'll get there. As usual, I haven't planned what I'm going to say. This is becoming a bad habit. Almost as bad a habit as drawing two things at once, which I'm doing that again. And that's not good art practice, but it's how I work very often, because I have two simultaneous ideas. Sometimes 3 or 4, but I'm trying to limit myself to how many things I can work on at the same time. Okay, I always think I want to talk more about what I'm actually doing, but I feel like you can see it. You can see I'm still using a fine liner. I'm still inking in this drawing. I'm drawing all these flowers and ruffles. So much of my art is just flowers and ruffles, isn't it? I guess it's good to develop a style, right? Yes, let's pretend it's a style. It's a choice. I don't know if you can actually hear Silver in the background, but she's making a lot of noise. I think because I'm talking, but not talking to her. If you can't hear her at all, then this probably just sounds like complete lunacy, but trust me, she's being a pain. So where were we with this drawing? Yeah, more fine liners, more sketching, more hatching, more lines. I don't know. If there's anything in particular you'd like to know about my art process, leave me a comment and I'll try and address it in a future video. or if there's anything you'd like me to talk about, even if it's something that isn't related to art. You know, while drawing these, I was listening to a podcast, and it was like a true crime sort of podcast, so a lot of really dark stories and heavy stuff that I was listening to, but sometimes it's interesting, you know? That's the sort of thing I listen to sometimes while I'm drawing. Sometimes I just listen to other more fun podcasts or music, but this time I was filling my head with a lot of really scary stories, which is also probably not a good idea, especially if you tend to draw at night time. Don't scare yourself at night. That's a bad art habit, and one that I definitely need to break. Although, you know, this is kind of by the by, but this podcast I was listening to was sponsored by a home alarm system, and that seems really dark to me, you know. On a true crime podcast, they'll be talking about just these really heavy things that happened to people, and then suddenly cut to an advert for a home alarm system. Maybe that's really clever on the part of that company, I don't know, but it struck me as being quite grim. It was grim. I mean, I'm laughing about it now, but at the time I was a bit taken aback, I suppose. Do you listen to that sort of thing? Are you interested in the kind of things that happen in the real world? I don't know. Let me know. More drawing ruffles, more drawing flowers. The flowers in particular, on this one that I'm working on right now in front of you, are lily of the valley flowers and a rose, and the flowers on the other one, the one with the star shape, are Easter lilies. Just in case you were interested. I know like quite a strange amount about flowers now, probably just because I draw them so much. You know, I draw them so I look up references, and a lot of those art references or photos come with information, and I just kind of absorbed a lot of information about it. Strange side effects of being an artist. Learning stuff about flowers. Sketch, sketch, sketch. Draw, draw, draw. All day, every day. That's what I do. I should have planned something to say, because I have nothing to say, and now I'm just sort of gibbering into the microphone. But thank you to everyone who said that they like hearing my voiceovers. I really do appreciate that, even if I'm not saying anything in particular. I suppose if it's annoying to you, you can just turn the volume off and listen to your own music, right? That's definitely an option. Did you know that Amazon let you subscribe to pens? Does that make sense? I didn't know until recently that Amazon can let you subscribe to a particular purchase, so you can order it to have one delivered every month. And I thought that was kind of crazy because I don't buy many things that regularly. But recently I've been thinking maybe I should subscribe to Fineliner pens and have them sent to me every month, because I go through them so fast. Drawing stuff like this, as you can see, it's very heavy on it's heavy on the ink, heavy on the Fineliners. You can see there I just switched pen. This will be the 0.1 Fineliner rather than the 0.05, because I'm inking parts that are supposed to look black. So I want the lines to be heavier and just to make it look that bit thicker and give it more depth, because this character has black hair and black wings actually. But if you've seen my previous art videos, you would have known that, because I draw these two characters quite often. Is it right to call them characters? They're not really characters. They're kind of just symbols, I guess. I don't know what to call them, but I draw them quite often. You'll be able to see them represented in quite a lot of the stuff I do, whether it's photo shoots or artwork or whatever. I don't know. Feathers, feathers. Why did I think it was a good idea to draw individual feathers and have to ink them like this with hundreds of tiny lines? I mean, it looks good, or at least I think it looks good, but it hurts your hands. I know you can't tell because I cut these parts out, but every so often I would have to stop and stretch my hands out and walk away. Do you do that when you're drawing, if you're an artist too? Do you get like hand cramps and then you have to go and sort of force all your fingers back out into a decent shape? Yeah. I think it's worth it though, for the way it looks. There I'm getting started on the wings. This is always the longest part of the process, is this character's black wings. Always takes forever. But again, I think it's kind of worth it. What else do I have to say? Not a lot. I'm trying to think. We're nearly at the end of the video anyway. Wow, I talked a lot. How are you? How was your weekend? How has your day been? Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'm a nosy person. I like hearing from people. I like hearing about what other people are doing. That's why I watch a lot of vlogs. I'm nosy. The second half of this video will be up in 2 weeks' time because I already have next week's art video planned, and it's something a little bit different. But I already had it planned before I decided to split this video into two, so the second half of this one won't be up for 2 weeks. I hope you can be patient, and I hope you will watch it then. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every weekend. Art videos coming on Monday, and my vlogs and tags and, you know, just other general videos appear on a Friday. Thank you for watching. Bye.